Upon receiving the Scissor's death note, my first action was to question Shinigami, the god of death, standing next to me. "Do you have a printing machine? If you write by hand, it will never end." Shinigami paused and said stiffly, "Don't you have any morals or manners?" By this time, I had filled 10 pages of the notebook. The pen's ink had run out and my hands were aching terribly. I raised my head and asked Shinigami with complete sincerity, "Do you have any high-tech method? Like, the printing machine can't write? I can't write at all. My hands are dying of pain." Shinigami suddenly stopped. "You didn't choose someone and try it first. You just started writing like that." Saying this, he flew over and examined the contents of my pages, pushed into a pile of rubble, drowning 10 minutes later, being crushed by a large truck and dismembered, being pampered and abused by 10 decapitated people from Chengdu, being mistaken for a duck by a psychopath and made into Beijing roast duck. Shinigami's prepared words seemed to choke in his throat. It came out with great difficulty. "Don't you have any mental burden of being an adult?" I said, a little irritated. "Weren't you the one who gave me this notebook to kill people?" Mr. Shinigami trembled slightly, as if he were meeting someone who wasn't following the script for the first time. "Have you never thought about handing this notebook over to the country? The previous owner was going to do that." I rolled my eyes and asked, "Will the country help me kill my enemies? I want them all to pay for this. I want them all dead." Shinigami fell completely silent and sat there doubting his own existence. The notebook's previous owner was a good man. That's why he had prepared to hand it over to the government as soon as he found it. Shinigami found him very boring. That's why he killed him. But now a murderous god stood before him. Shinigami, taken aback, pointed to the notebook and asked curiously, "If you kill so many people, your parents will be very sad to know." "My parents died a long time ago. They were killed at a construction site when I was 4. I got 800,000 rupees in compensation." Shinigami hesitated for a moment and then asked, "You must have other relatives." I laughed coldly. "Yes, isn't it? They took my parents' inheritance and compensation money. They said they would take care of it until I came of age, but the next moment they bought a new car. They even took over my house and divided the land. If they hadn't been there, I would have gone to an orphanage. Maybe life there would have been better." Mr. Shinigami gave up and took a different view. "But you'll go to school. There's 9 years of compulsory education now, right? Didn't the teachers teach you not to hurt others?" I glared at Shinigami. "You're saying what hurts. I went to school, but I was bullied there. They said I was a vagabond without parents. I went to the orphanage for help. When I went to the teacher, he told me to bear it. It was my fault. Otherwise, why would they harass only me? After that, they got even worse. I was tortured so much that I finally had to leave school." Shinigami stared helplessly at my pen. "Today's society is quite developed. Finding a job to survive shouldn't be difficult. You have your limbs intact. Can't you work hard and earn money?" I burst out laughing at Shinigami's words. "I'm a child laborer. I don't have a degree. I can't find a good job. Once a boss hired me, but some kind person complained and he had to fire me. Later, I started working day and night in an illegal factory, so the agent took away my entire salary." I took out a small knife I just bought and held it out to Shinigami. "Look, I just bought this to stab that bastard agent tomorrow." Shinigami didn't give up and looked at the rented room. "At least you have a place to live." I picked up the used pen and hit him hard on the head. I shouted angrily, "I'm angry that you broke this lock. The previous tenant died last week after working 996 from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Didn't you come to pick him up, Shinigami?" Shinigami fell silent. The pen's ink ran out, and Shinigami and I just stared at each other. After a half-minute standoff, Shinigami couldn't help himself. He flew over, pointed to the notebook, and asked curiously, "If you kill so many people, how do you remember so many names?" I smiled and took a thick diary from my bag. The corners of the diary were bent, and it looked like it had been used for years. I randomly flipped to a page, which was filled with my complaints. I remembered everything about who did what when. I said coldly, gritting my teeth, "I've been writing since elementary school. Back then, I used to think that when I grow up and have the ability, I'll teach a lesson to all those who bullied me." Shinigami came over and started reading my diary. October 14th, Li Yanren threw my books in the trash and slapped me across the face. Li Yanren, I'll remember you. When I get stronger, I'll beat you so hard that your face will swell up like a pig. Next to it was a crippled effigy with Li Yanren's name on it, with a large cross on its face. October 25th, teacher Zhang Fugui asked me to make peace with Li Yanren. When I refused, he told me to call my parents. At Zhang Fugui, I'll remember you. When I become powerful, I'll remember you. If I become one, I'll make you sit on your knees all day so you can be embarrassed in front of all the teachers. October 26th.
6th, my uncle wouldn't let me go to school. He called me unlucky and didn't give me food. You, the neighbor, I've remembered you for 3 years. When I grow up, I'll starve you so you know I'm not a jerk. I'll make you clean all day, then give you a bite. Finally, the words were so many that they went off the grid. The hatred was so intense that dried tear marks and pen holes covered almost every page. Shinigami looked at the diary's bitterness, then looked at the notebook she had given me. She suddenly realized she had picked up the wrong version. Shinigami was sad for a while. Then she bowed her head and asked, "It's been 10 years, but you still remember what they look like?" I laughed coldly and took out my phone. I know their social media accounts. Some of them have become influencers now. Some have gone to university. Some have gone abroad with the help of their parents. I even lost my fist by sending them their flashy pictures on my phone. These people are bullies who harass others, but on the internet, people like them. In the comments, people say, "Dee Dee is so kind and gentle. Even if I post and prove that she harassed me, her fans will rush to her defense. If I go to the police to file a report, the most I'll get is a hollow apology. I don't even have time to file a lawsuit because I have to earn money to eat." Mr. Nagami gave me a long silence and waved his hand in front of me. "Even if you have their social media accounts, some people don't even show their faces." I raised my head and said with a scary smile, "Have you ever heard of doxing, data leaking?" Mr. Nagami didn't say anything. After a long moment, he blurted out, "What is doxing?" I stopped smiling and looked at him with disdain. "What century are you from? You have such old-fashioned ideas. Just understand that I was able to extract all their information from the internet." Mr. Nagami said softly, "This is illegal, isn't it? Aren't you afraid of getting caught? There must be police in your world." I nodded honestly. I have complete faith in the police's efficiency. Otherwise, why would I have even just kept a knife ready? I'm sure as soon as I kill that agent, they'll catch me immediately and won't give me a chance to kill another person. But when I'm in this condition, do you think I care anymore? Well, I'm grateful. I feel like living again. When a person is determined to do something bad, they gain immense energy. After resting for a while and charging my phone, I got up with difficulty and prepared for daily labor. I had only 2 coins left. I bought a new pen with one and took the other to catch a bus to the labor market. Once there, I went with an agent to the courier sorting station. A young girl was standing next to me. She spoke to me friendly. Besides me, 10 or 12 other people had come for part-time work. The agent assigned us to our respective positions and began keeping an eye on us. "Hello, have you come for part-time work?" I just nodded. I didn't want to waste my energy talking. The girl saw my nod and gave me a shy smile. She was about to say something more when the agent suddenly yelled at us, "Why are you all slacking off? There's a mountain of couriers you can't see. You're getting 20 rupees an hour. Do you want it for free?" The girl was frightened and immediately got to work. However, his hand didn't stop. I gave the agent a look and decided I'd finish this as soon as I got my paycheck tomorrow. As usual, at 2 a.m., the agent started abusing us. He started yelling at us part-timers. "Are you blind? You useless people can't understand such a simple task? You're worse than pigs. That's how you learn money? Whoever wants to work, let him do it. Otherwise, get lost. No one's stopping you here." I didn't even raise my head at the agent's words. I was an expert at ignoring them. Shinigami was floating in the air next to me, his head bowed, looking at the agent. "This agent is like the devils in our hell, and all of you are like the criminals being whipped by the devil." I wasn't in the mood to talk to Shinigami because I was tired, but the girl next to me couldn't take it anymore. She was about to argue with the agent when I grabbed her arm. "Don't go. She's doing this on purpose. If you guys run off in anger, she'll save a man's wages. You only get paid if you work until morning." The girl called him disgusting and continued working, but as she took a sip of water, the agent took her picture and said she was stealing work and would be deducted. Now she was completely broken and